We're very happy to welcome Srimati Deepika Reddy to our conversation, Samvadanam, today. Srimati Deepika Reddy is a recognized and accomplished performer, a creative choreographer, and a cultural ambassador, and a dedicated guru, groomed by none other than the legendary Guru Padma Bhushan awardee, Dr. Vempati Chinnasatyam. Deepika has performed extensively in prestigious dance festivals in India and abroad, and some of her significant performances are at the closing ceremony of the Festival of India at Berlin, Rashtrapati Bhavan in honor of the Russian president, the Sri Lankan Parliament, the inaugural of Year of India at the Bolshoi Theatre in Russia, and many more. Deepika Reddy is a recipient of the prestigious National Sangeet Natak Academy Puraskar. She is also the recipient of multiple awards and recognitions by various state governments. She has been certified as an A top grade artist by Doordarshan. She was a member of the Regional Film Censor Board and jury member of the Nandi State Film Awards. With a passion to take Kuchipudi to the next generation, Deepika has founded Deepanjali, an institute striving for the excellence in the field of Kuchipudi, where she imparts trainings to many students. Productions of Deepanjali on mythological as well as subjects of topical interest to convey relevant messages to society have been very well appreciated. For Deepika, dance is not only a passion, but a worship of the divine art form. We are so glad to welcome her to today's Samvadanam. Welcome, Deepika. We're so glad you were able to join us for the Samvadanam, and it's a pleasure having you with us.
It is indeed a great pleasure for me to be here, and I would like to thank Indian Council of Cultural Relations, the regional office in Hyderabad, for this wonderful initiative. Thank you so much, Lakshmaji Rao Garu, and of course, Rudra Anand, for inviting me to be part of this.
Wonderful. Let me just start off with actually a bit of your early journey. How did you start off learning this? And your experiences, that would really be very interesting to hear.
It has been a long and arduous journey of 48 years.
Wow.
Dance. And I was initiated at a rather young age by my mother. She was a Bharatanatyam dancer.
Okay.
And, she actually, my mother was the person who played the lead role of Chitrangada in the ballet that was presented at the inauguration of Ravindra Bharati. This was way back in 1961.
Wow.
And very renowned artists, Guru Raja Reddy Garu and late Uma Rama Rao Garu also were part of this inaugural program. But unfortunately, I never saw my mother performing on stage because she never danced after marriage.
Okay.
That's my, I really feel very bad about that. But then anyways, she's always there to support me.
True.
She enrolled me with her dear friend Sumati Kaushal Garu to learn both Bharatanatyam and Kuchipudi. And with that, I learned the Margam. I know that since you're a Bharatanatyam dancer. And but for some reason, I took a liking for Kuchipudi because I think, I don't know, various reasons. I think the fast tempo, the pace I used to like Kuchipudi tempo, and also a better understanding of the items because most of them were in Telugu. And I love the shabdams, the Mohana Ragam shabdams, the Ramayana shabdam, the Prahlada Pattahabhisheka shabdam, the Savatara shabdam. And also Tarangam.
Yes.
Young age, dancing on, standing on the roof of a brass plate. And also, we were taught dancing with a pot filled with water on our, balancing it on our head, which was also very exciting and very challenging for me at that age. And that was something that really excited me. Another thing, I used to love the Praveshika Darus. And Bhama Kalapam and Gola Kalapam. The Vachika Abhinaya really used to excite me, and then saying it on stage was a big challenge. And thanks to that, you improve your pronunciation and your self-confidence, and everything came at a young age because of that dialogue delivery, Vachika Abhinaya.
Right. I mean, given the dialogue delivery, can you show us a few samples if you don't mind? Just so that we can get to see it again from you.
Mridula, it's been 30 years since I've done Vachika Abhinaya on stage, and I'll try to remember it
Sure.
best of my ability because it's been so long. This is Madhavi and Satyabhama, the conversation between both of them. I'll try to just say a few lines. ఓయమ్మ మాధవి నా స్వామి శంఖము ధరించినటువంటి వాడే శంఖము ధరించినటువంటి వాడు ఆ సాలివాహుడే కాని నీ భర్త కానే కాడే సత్యభామ. అబ్బా అది కాదే ఓయమ్మ, వారు చక్రము ధరించినటువంటి వారే. చక్రము ధరించినటువంటి వాడు ఆ దేవల వారింటి చిన్నవాడే కాని నీ భర్త కానే కాడే సత్యభామ. అబ్బా అది కాదేవోయమ్మ, వారు మకర కుండలము ధరించినటువంటి వారే. మకర కుండలం ధరించినటువంటి వాడు ఆ బ్రాహ్మణ వారింటి చిన్నవాడే కాని నీ భర్త కానే కాడే సత్యభామ. అబ్బా అది కాదేవోయమ్మ, వారు వేణువు ధరించినటువంటి వారే. వేణువు ధరించినటువంటి వాడు ఆ గొల్లవారింటి చిన్నవాడే కాని నీ భర్త కానే కాడే సత్యభామ. వా అది కాదేవోయమ్మ, వారు మా అత్త కుమారుడే. అంటే బావ మరిది సందువారే ఓయమ్మ. ఇంతకీ వారి పేరోనమ్మా? ఇంతోటి ఆడవారిలో ఇంతోటి మగవారిలో భామ తన మగని పేరు చెప్పినదంటే అబ్బా సిగ్గు కాదటే ఓయమ్మా. కాదటేనమ్మా.
That's very enjoyable. You almost feel part of that the conversation between them, and like how interesting
both,
can it be? That's lovely.
Madhavi used
And
to be
can you also tell?
Guru, and Satyabhama
Yes.
would say on the stage, but it was good fun. So I really enjoyed all that. And my Arangetram happened in 1976 at Ravindra Bharati again. So that's after that.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Then
Absolutely wonderful.
I happened to watch a performance, Srinivasa Kalyanam, the dance drama of Vempati Master Garu, Vempati Chinna Satyam Garu, Ravindra Bharati. There were 2 shows back to back. And my father was kind enough to get me tickets to go and watch the show. And we got tickets for the second show, the late night show.
Right.
But, I can never forget it. That program is etched in my mind, although I was a child and I went and sat in the balcony of Ravindra Bharati and watched it. But I remember every scene. So then it became my dream to learn from Master Garu. But then this only happened much later. After my graduation and marriage, Master Garu happened to visit Hyderabad for some show. I went and met him along with my mother-in-law. And I told him, you are my greatest inspiration and I would like to be your disciple. He just looked at me and said, that's not going to happen. You're married, you stay in Hyderabad, you learned another Bani. How is that going to work? Then I was so persistent and I went and plonked myself in Chennai. I went,
Ah.
and then he didn't have a choice, so he had to take it. But I must say, I learned so much. I learned what sadhana is all about, what discipline is all about from this great master. And my God, what a choreographer and what vision. And also, I learned the Gurukula style of learning
Right.
form. I stayed with Master Garu, and his wife and Master Garu were so nice to me. They took care of me so well and fed me, and they were very nice. Master used to force me to eat because I was very skinny, and he said you need to put on weight, and that they were very nice. I even learned to draw water from a well over there. Wonderful experience. I can never forget what I learned with Master Garu. And I had the good fortune of performing in his dance dramas, and also Master Garu has done Natuvangam for me in my solo programs also. Mridula.
Oh, wonderful. Almost like a second family, right?
Yes, yes,
That's
yes.
how you grew up with them. And talking about his absolutely stunning choreography, that brings me to the next question that I wanted to ask you. Choreography, you move away from, or you move out of the, a shadow of your gurus. You start trying to choreograph by yourself. So at the same time, you do carry their legacy with you, their training and legacy and their rigor. So tell me a little bit about your choreographic journeys, and more importantly, some of the challenges that you felt, and some of the, it's always a stumbling block or a hurdle that you cross. So a little bit about that as well.
Yes, Mridula. Um, let's talk about the item that was presented today by my daughter disciple Shloka. This is part of Rukmini Krishna, my latest mythological production. And this we presented it last year. We premiered it last year. And I never dreamt that I'll do this subject. I've never thought of doing this subject also. It's not, this just happened, destiny. Varaprasad Reddy Garu approached me and said, I would like you to do this subject, Rukmini Krishna. And I said, oh my God, no, Master Garu has done Rukmini Kalyanam. How can I even touch a subject that has been done by my guru? It's not.
Right.
Then he convinced me. I did a lot of reading, and then we had like a brainstorming session with the script writer Ram Bhatla Garu, the music composer Dandipotla Srinivasa Venkata Shastri Garu, and all of us, we all met. And I had done my homework and I had written down how I would like to go about the whole thing. And then we had some difference of opinions. And then we reached out to Chaganti Koteswar Rao Garu for his input also. Because when we're doing something, we should know what we're doing, and we need
Correct.
everybody. We are all learners. So it was very nice. And that's how we started. And it was very difficult for DSV Shastri Garu and me, because both of us, Shastri Garu has sung for Master Garu's productions, and this was,
Right.
and I have also taken part in the ballet. So, we have to do it very differently. We can't change the story, but as a choreographer, my interpretation should be my own. My
Yes.
manodharma should be my own.
Yes.
Oh, so that's where it's so challenging, and it was a wonderful experience. And I made sure from the first scene to last scene, it was, of course, taking inspiration from Master Garu. I tried to do it my own way.
Yeah.
Master Garu used to always talk about certain things that were his ideas, bringing in Krishna with the Savataram. I brought in Krishna with Krishna Leelalu, and a scene where he brought the kings, various kings, to for Rukmini to select. He brought them with dancers holding portraits. I said, this is his idea. I shouldn't even touch it with the Bajpur, because that's his thought process. I interpreted it in a very different way. And the celebrations at Kundina, Supala, so many things, try to do it in a different way. And by the grace of God, we were applauded for it. And I think it's like Pupa Janma Samriddham. That day, in the chief guests, we had Guru Garu, Chaganti Koteswara Garu, and also late SP Balasubramaniam Garu, who left us very
True.
recently. honestly. And he's not with us, but he will always be with us.
Absolutely.
Forever.
Absolutely.
And they literally dissected every scene. They spoke about every nuance, from the lyrics to the music to the dance choreography, the light, the costumes, the sets, the dancers, the coordination, the character fitness of the artists I took to play various roles, everything they spoke about. So that made me and all of us feel very good, because somebody is watching so,
True.
they're watching, like, I don't know, the way they, certain things, I can't even, this evening won't suffice for me to tell you how many points they spoke about that day. And, but it was very heartening. And because it's a lot of hard work when you're doing a dance drama, and
Yes.
the guest dancers, the male roles were all played by guest senior gurus, and all the female roles were played by my students, including Krishna. But and all of them, everybody put in their effort, and all the musicians also, everyone,
True.
Kamishta Krushi, we all worked together, and it worked well. So I didn't let Master Garu down. That's what that's not what I'm saying. That's what the others, the comments of others. I must.
Yeah. No, no, that's a lovely validation of taking forward his legacy ultimately, right?
So
It's
that's
the
the
public that comes.
yes.
Hmm.
And
Yeah, absolutely.
when, because you asked me about choreography, very recently, I think end of March and first week of April, I was very disturbed by some of the way the healthcare workers were treated who are fighting against COVID-19. So I choreographed a tribute. This was in peak lockdown at home, and I coordinated with my daughter. And it went viral because people, I appreciated the effort. And why I'm talking about this today is such a beautiful message. S.P. Balasubramaniam garu, voice message he has sent, appreciating this work. So for every choreographer, dancer, guru, to get a pat on the back will make you, think and try,
Right.
think out of the box, keeping to the grammar and idiom of our style and choreograph.
Right.
So,
It's an encouragement.
yes,
Every word is an encouragement.
yes, that's what happened, Mridula.
Oh, that's lovely to hear. And, choreography wise, the next, of course, I think logical step would be about collaborations. And, you have done quite a few collaborations. I would also like you to mention a bit about Pandit Birju Maharaj when you're talking about them, but a little bit about your collaborations with various artists, various art forms across the country. And that would be very interesting to hear as well.
Hmm. Before I go on to my collaborations with other artists, I'll also speak about why I chose the second item that was presented today by my students. This is Prakriti Varnana. This is from my ballet Prakriti Rakshati Rakshitaha, Protect Nature for Your Protection. And, I was really inspired by Al Gore's Inconvenient Truth, and the problems we are facing today, global warming because of deforestation, pollution, and emissions from factories, and so many things. And when you're doing subjects of topical interest, and when we are trying to convey a subtle message to be a little more responsible and to protect our nature and things like that, it comes with its own share of criticism and praise, both. Some people say, oh, does she have to come and tell us that we need to protect our nature? Don't we know? Why does this lady have to be so didactic? That is one side. That was a response of a few, very few, very, very few. I must say, maybe 0.05%. But
Right.
most people appreciated it. And the biggest appreciation was when COP11 happened in Hyderabad, Biodiversity Conference. I think 33 countries came here, and they used my title, Prakriti Rakshati Rakshitaha, as their logo. And I presented for my show for all the
Hmm.
delegates. And since most of them couldn't understand the language, we also had back visions. We're using
Right.
technology also to enhance the whole production. And everything was within the grammar and idiom of our style. And because I used the invocation was started with Panchabhutas, and the item you saw today, Prakriti Varnana, appreciating nature, was the second item. And the third item, I used the tree as the Praveshika in the Praveshika Daru. The tree, introduces itself. That's very typical of Kuchipudi. And to say what all it has given us. And then the lament of the tree. That
Right.
and to present the message, to convey the message, I used the Janapada style, which my Guruji also used to use, Master Garu. And that was also beautifully appreciated by everyone. And the lyrics were by Sri Nim, and music again beautifully done by Dandivata Srinivasa Venkata Shastri Garu. That happened. Now, your question.
On
Moving
collaborations.
to collaborations. I feel I'm really blessed to have worked with none other than Pandit Viju Maharaji. My God, what an artist, a legend. I received a call from Sashwati Shenji, and she told me that Guru Panditji would like me to do the Kuchipudi segment, the Sisira Rutu from Rutu Samhar. He wanted me to not only choreograph it, but also perform in it. And I thought, my God, is it a prank call? Is it true? Because I was so excited. And here again, this came with a huge challenge. Why? Because 10 years before I was approached, this very Rutu Samhar, this is actually an ICCR production. ICCR commissioned Pandit Birju Maharaj Ji to do this. So, the first time they had presented it, the Sisuru Rutu was done by Vempati Master Garu.
Ah, okay.
Again, back to huge challenge, because then I kept reading and reading Ritu Samhad, the Sisira Rutu, and it's so sensuous. So I chose some slokas which I thought would be good. And then I sat and brainstormed with my husband, and we thought we should have a storyline, and to make it different from the other styles. And also that's the strong point of the dance drama tradition. So I had the Nayaka, the Naiki, and the Sakhi to present this whole Sisira Rutu. And that Maharaji really liked, because he appreciated that I put in so much of effort and made a storyline of this whole thing, and how my transition from Sisira Rutu to spring also, how I brought in the plate. He appreciated that a lot, and I had the good fortune of performing this in so many countries along with Maharaji, and he liked my work, and he invited me on his 70th birthday to perform at Kamani. I don't know, I can never forget that day in my life, because I did a Jugal Bandi with his son, and Maharaji was playing tabla. I think for this birth, this is more than enough for me. It is something I can never express in words. Such an humbling experience for me. And
what a wonderful soul. What a wonderful soul.
And whenever I have performed with artists, senior artists from other styles, many of them, so many productions we've done together, it's there's a lot of responsibility on our shoulders. It is not Deepika there. It is the Kuchipudi dance form that I need to,
Absolutely.
It will fall. The whole production, every style is beautiful. All of them are gems, but each one should try to do their best. So I've really learned a lot working with other artists, and because when we grow along with them, we learn along.
Yes.
With them. Wonderful experiences I've had, Mridula.
So wonderful to hear from that. And
basically, I've performed in many countries, but now I'm going back to my first ICCR tour, because today we are on the ICCR platform. This was in 2007, and I had performed. I went to perform in Turkey, and there was this remote place that we were performing, and it was very cold. It was winter, and people were all wearing boots and jackets and all that. And of course, we don't wear footwear when we are performing, since we're wearing our bells. And I got so carried away. Even after the show, I'm like. Taking pictures and getting so excited with meeting everyone and the affection shown. There was this very elderly gentleman who removed his jacket and put it on the floor and said, "Stand on this. Why are you standing barefoot?" Of course, my God, it was a Walter rabbit, but I did not take up that offer and I didn't stand on the jacket. But what I'm trying to get here is that our classical dance forms are appreciated even in other countries. There's
Everywhere.
so much of respect for us and artists and our art forms. And I had, we all, my students and I, we performed in one crafts village, like something like Shilparamam that we have here. And nobody knows the language, they don't know English or anything else. But then they liked our dance. So all little children went and bought in the crafts bazaar gifts for my students, like earrings and pendants and rings, and just the gesture of
yes, absolutely,
like that. And this was wonderful. I went back to perform in Turkey in 2007 for this 70 years of Indian independence. And after my performance, I saw some nuns waving out at me from the audience. Once the light is switched on, we can
see inside. You can see.
Then I realized, oh my God, in 2007, they came and watched me perform. And they said, after 10 years, they still remembered me. And when they saw my name, they came back. That means they appreciate our art forms. It is not Deepika there. It is an Indian classical dancer.
Right.
So it was a very wonderful feeling. And another thing that really excites me, Mridula, is women's centric roles. I would like to speak about women. There were many women's centric roles that I have had the opportunity of performing in. Draupadi, Mandodari, Kaikeyi, Dakshayani, Savitri, I can go on and on. These are the not so, commonly used ones.
Commonly used, correct.
Yeah. And Rudrama and Sita, Bhama, Rukmini, all of them are more commonly used. I performed Draupadi at Habitat Center, and next day I went to watch some other performance of another dancer from another style, and people in the audience started calling me Draupadi Reddy. So then I just went up to them and they said they liked that scene where that helplessness when I reached out to Krishna when my husband couldn't do anything. That feeling when I was disrobed, they said they liked that expression. That's why they're calling me Draupadi Reddy. So complete involvement, and we need to connect with the audience. That's so important. This I'm saying is because for the younger generation is very smart today, but I'm just, as a senior dancer, my experience. And when I did Mandodari also, Mandodari holds Ravana, the dead body, his head, and she says, what didn't I do for you? I was a chaste wife, such a doting mother, dutiful daughter-in-law, compassionate queen. But you wanted another woman in place of me. Why? I was also beautiful. Hanuman, when he saw me, he mistook me for Sita because he thought I was very beautiful. But why did you do this to me? Those kind of, expressions and the feeling to do these kind of roles really excites me. We have in our mythology to, read about them and understand what they felt at that point of time, to try and do our own interpretation.
Absolutely, absolutely. There's just so much more to learn and do now that, there's so many more things to learn. And thank you so much for this really interesting talk. Not only your, early learning, the fact that you switched from Bharatanatyam to Kuchipudi is very interesting to note. And your experiences, your collaboration with so many artists, and your learning from that, and the growth and the fact that, Everybody needs
I'm
to.
still learning from my students,
Exactly.
brainstorming with them, and when we're choreographing, it's such a wonderful
Absolutely. And
experience.
it's amazing how the learning never stops. You keep learning.
So nowadays, the children are so smart and they have so many tools and so much of
Yes.
exposure that I didn't have then. I couldn't ask my master guru anything. My God, I was petrified. But then nowadays, the girls can ask us anything.
Absolutely, and that openness and to large extent availability is sometimes mind-boggling. And so it's really nice to have had you here. Thank you so much for joining us and taking your time off and spending it with us.
Thank you, Mrudula, and thank you, ICCR Hyderabad Lakshmaji Rao Garu, for this wonderful initiative. Namaskaram. Great.
Namaskar. Thank you.